And you're watching Retro Gaming Revival live.
Good evening and welcome to Retro Gaming Revival Live, our special Games Master edition with the one and only Dominic Diamond. He's not here yet, but I'm assured he will be here shortly. It's an episode I'm really looking forward to.
Bit awkward, mate. That was last week.
Last week, mate.
Yeah, seriously?
Sorry, bud. Yeah.
It's a bit awkward.
Sorry,
move swiftly on, mate.
That's awkward.
I know you
That's
missed
very
it, and you've been desperate to say that, but yeah, sorry, bud.
I just wanted.
You
to
missed
do
a good
the
one,
intro.
mate. You missed.
I did miss a
Yeah.
good one. A very
Got me.
good one.
Double headset is back.
Hey. back from the living dead. You're
In the
no
words
longer
of
a
Dominic.
helicopter pilot.
No
What
longer.
was it? Dawbs, you
helicopter.
flying a fucking helicopter. I think that was the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of Dominic
back.
Diamond.
It's back on.
Okay.
Back from the graveyard. It is back.
Those drama classes at school paid off. Though. You could see.
Very natural.
I did get an A in drama, actually. I did get an A in drama, so
You got an A in drama.
I did. Yeah.
I got an F in art, which was spelt fart, which always makes me laugh. You saw it on the little thing.
Yeah.
I was never very good at art. Anyway, so we see who's in the chat this evening.
Yes.
Before we
Go
into
for it.
Okay, Rob Taylor. Shame he can't be here, but
Oh,
we love
Love you,
Rob.
Rob.
Top man. We've got Rock and Roller RC.
nice. very
Ready and
nice.
waiting. He's been ready for about 20 minutes, so sorry for keeping you waiting, but we're here now. We've got Sega Saturn Lad, but he's got very good questions, so I'm not going to put it up on screen, but we acknowledge that you're here. So
Yeah. Hello. All right.
evening. Crazy Burger, always good to see you in the
Yeah.
chat.
Legend.
Who else have we got here who's actually a genuine person? We've got Rob from Essex Retro Gamer. So evening to you, Rob.
Evening.
This is an important question. Nintendo Olly, I know, bruv, did you have a Domino's? How was it?
Absolutely
the
did.
Domino's?
Oh, mate,
What?
delightful Texas barbecue and cheeseburger pizza with chicken strippers.
Wow.
Can't go wrong with
Nice.
that.
Very nice.
We're not in any way sponsored by Domino's, by the way, but if they want to sponsor us, we are.
Not
available.
yet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get in
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, Harry, nice to see you.
Harrison.
Who else we got here? Ziggy Pro. Nice to see you.
Evening.
And we've also got Retro Ed, so always nice to see Ed. Met him at
Evening.
OLL, so always nice to see you, Ed.
Evening, Ed.
So I'm
Legend.
going to pass over to Olly. I'm going to stick you up here for the first topic of the evening. So
Ooh.
you can take over from here. I'm just going to sit here because I
All
don't want to.
okay.
This is a very controversial topic. The Amico Intellivision.
Okay.
When's it coming out?
Yeah, we'll get to that, shall we? So, Amico, we have a bit of a funny ride with Amico, in that we talked about it, I think, on one of our earlier streams, possibly even our very first stream. Possibly, I can't remember now. And it's, yeah, like you say, Ryan, it's definitely a topic of controversy. This mythical, strange console. Is it coming out? Is it a scam? Like, I don't think anybody really knows anymore. And we kind of, we sort of allegedly, yes, good man, thank you. But we've sort of we've ridden a bit of a weird wave with it in that we'd never slagged it off, we've never slated it, but we've always been very critical of it, I think, to start with, which somehow led to SNEStastic Pete getting in touch with us and saying, "Can I come on and talk to you about it?" Which, we're fairly open chaps. We're always open to listening to the other side of the argument, and we literally pinned it as an Amico special, I think, didn't we? Where we were going to have someone who knew all the stuff about the Amico was going to come on and tell us about it, and it turned out to be a pretty entertaining stream. I quite enjoyed myself. We got to meet Pete, who's a fantastic guy, and then from there, I think he said on the stream you should reach out to Tommy and see whether or not he'd come and chat to you, because he's quite like that. He'll just come and talk to anybody. And then he got in touch with someone. Who did he get in touch with?
I think he put a comment on the video. He actually commented on the video, because I think he was like watching what people were talking about, and he commented on the video. I think it was Snestastic.
Yeah, because I think at the
And he
time,
replied to it.
Snestastic reached out to us because we were one of the only channels in the UK talking about
UK did it,
Amico.
yeah.
It wasn't really covered by a lot of the UK channels.
No.
So the fact we were talking about it in I would say, not a massively positive way, but we kind of kept it balanced. I would like to think that between us, we're a balanced panel. And Snestastic, the Amico kid, reached out to us, and unfortunately I missed that one. But Tim, you were on that stream.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
And after that, how did your opinions change about it? Before we get on to Tommy, it'd just be interested to know.
I'll be honest, my opinion of the actual, along with the console itself, my opinion of it has just flip-flopped massively, and it's mostly around the price point, because from day one I've always thought that's a bit much to spend, and I've always felt like that's the thing which is making it hard to go, oh yeah, that's worth a punt. If you compared it to like the Evercade and things like that, it's not that expensive. It's you get into the price range now, it's not an impulse buy. You have to be really deciding you want that console. And again, with the games, sometimes I think, oh yeah, actually they look quite fun. I'd probably play that quite a lot. And other times I look at it and think, yeah, but I'd rather play on a Switch game. Do you know what I mean? I was constantly back and forth. But for the sake of people that have been massively invested in it, I do hope it comes out for them, because some people have been super, super keen on it. And I don't know why, they think it's going to be an absolute game changer. I don't think it's going to be, this monumental console that's going to come out and bring people together. It looks a bit of fun, but I'm not going to spend 250 quid on a bit of fun. I'd want it to be something a lot more. So yeah, it's really weird, because again, for those people that have really, really want to see this come out, I'd love to see them get it, because they're really passionate about it. But on the other side of the spectrum, you've got people that have invested a lot of money in this thing. Hopefully, the people that pre-ordered it can get their money back. But if anyone's invested in it and then it goes, you've got to feel for the people that have lost a lot of time and money on the thing. So yeah.
I mean, how did other people feel when Pete was on chatting to us? Because Pete's a nice guy. It's hard to not like just chatting to him in general.
Sorry, the only reason I'm laughing. Sorry, the only reason I'm laughing is because I just spotted Crazy Burger's comment. I realised I probably phrased that badly. Just about how much would you pay for a bit of fun?
Well,
phrased that very well.
Rob has said £250 all the time. I'd like to know what that's on. Maybe get in touch with the show. Let us know.
Well, I was saying I was on the fence, but when we spoke to Pete about it, do you know what I mean? It was like Tim said, £250 is a lot of money, especially for
big bucks. Especially
for something which, like I remember you saying, Ollie, until you actually hold the thing, actually get to play it, you don't really know what you're getting. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't really anything on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought Pete did a really good job, because we could ask him questions, and we would literally ask him questions. What does this mean? How does this work? What do you do with this? And he had some pretty good answers, because he's been part of that that group of people that have really sort of followed it quite hardcore. So I thought it was a really interesting stream, if I'm honest. I think we still got to the end and we're like, not sure. I'm more interested than I was at the start, but I'm still not totally sold. Which then led to Tommy reaching out to one of us. I can't remember who he got in touch with. Was it you, Ryan?
Right.
Yeah, because I have the Retro Gaming Revival email account, so where I look after that. I think Pete Snestastic passed him our email address, and then I couldn't believe it. We were a channel with like 20 subs at the time, and there's Tommy Tallarico, this big game developer who wants to. Not game developer. What would you call him? game music.
Personality.
Yeah, games personality.
Mm.
You know, reaching out to us to come on our channel and talk to us in only our probably 4th or 5th video that we ever done, and to get someone of that caliber on, yeah, it just blew me away, I think. So
Yeah.
that stream was really, really good as well, because I think he spent the first half just talking about how he got into the industry and some of the games he's worked on. It's just really interesting to just hear him talk about his background and what he's done. And then the second half was him just pitching the Amico, wasn't it, for like a solid hour or so. And to be fair, it was a pretty good pitch. I came away watching that thinking, yeah, this actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
I was fairly enthusiastic about it after that stream, I think.
it was the bit, and Blunners will know the exact bit, when he pulls the controller up and he's like zoop, zoop, doing the like lines on the screen, wasn't he, from nowhere, just to get us off topic of his career.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was so surreal, because we chatted to him for maybe what, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour before we went live. And then we did a 2-hour stream with him. And then once it finished, I think we talked to him for another hour and a half. And it was just, it was so bizarre. We got to the end of the evening. It was so late. And I think
It was like 11:30, wasn't it?
It was really, really late. And I think we all just kind of were like, has that just happened? Like, there's the last like 3 and a bit hours of our lives just happened, because it was just so bizarre. But yeah, hearing Tommy talk about his gaming life, what he'd done up to that point was great. But again, when he got to talking about the Amico, like Rob says, he's a great salesperson, and he kind of convinced me, you know, to the point where I didn't make a pre-order. I wasn't ready to sort of commit to it financially, but I was definitely in that bracket of like, yeah, I'm definitely more interested in this than I ever have been now. Yeah,
and it has some good ideas, doesn't it? I do think it is interesting. It has got some good ideas, I think. It's just
So once we came off that stream, we ended up, I did actually. He was saying he was going to like do a thing in London, didn't he? And all I thought was, right, get myself an Amico, get it signed, jobs are good, and so I did actually pre-order one for a bit, but then after I did cancel in the end. But
did you order it from Funstock?
Oh yeah, no.
Because Dawbs has never had a problem with Funstock.
No, you should have got it from Funstock. Like, never had a problem with them. They're the best.
But it's
some good ideas.
Sorry, Ollie, I talked over you. Go on, mate.
No, I just said there is some good ideas. Especially we got to find out a few things before him, because we've done some other stuff with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was super
really
interesting. Yeah, that was super interesting, because he set a group up, didn't he, on Messenger, and kind of invited us into it. And so, I mean, we can talk about it now because E3's been, and it's all fine. The E3 last year, that is, or possibly even the year before, I can't remember now. And he basically said, look, I want to set up a chat where I can talk to you guys about some ideas. I want to talk to you guys about what you want as gamers from a system like the Amico. And he wanted us to be totally honest, which was really bizarre. Like, why do you want to hear from us? And I think he basically said, because you've been sort of constructively critical about the system, I'm interested to know where you think of it from an actual gamer's perspective rather than a casual gamer. And that in itself was a strange conversation, because he was telling us about all these different things that the Amico could do. So like the card reader being the physical media product, you know, that it was going to come in these little boxes with a collectible inside it, and it was going to be made of all this, you know, recycled cardboard and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, but you're not allowed to tell anyone about it. So we never did. We alluded that he'd spoken to us, and we thought that, I still do think that the physical media thing's kind of a cool idea, even though it is just a card reader, but that's by the by. And then seeing his E3 pitch that he did that year, and it kind of like, it included some of the stuff that we talked about, you know, highlight these points because these are the good points. Maybe talk a little bit more about the fact that you've got some physical media, even if you're not ready to tell everyone what it is, and all this kind of stuff. And it was just really bizarre, you know, and you're like, fuck, this guy's like who he is, and he's got all these people that he could, you know, talk to about this thing, and just kind of had a chat to us about it. It was really strange. And I kind of, I don't know, I came away from that really liking Tommy, I think, as a person. I think, like, again, like Rob said, he's a great salesperson, but you know, he was also cool to us. You know, he gave us the time of day when he really didn't need to. And then just the Amicos kind of trudged along. you know, we got our own because we started saying, oh, you know, the Amico's kind of cool. We're interested. You know, we're still not totally sold, but we're interested. As soon as we said that, and we were no longer saying that we didn't like the Amico, we didn't hate the Amico and all this kind of stuff. People started like saying online that we were shills, you know, and it was like,
I forgot.
what?
Yeah, it's so
Hang on a
funny.
minute. Someone set up a Reddit thread. It's like, oh my god, we've made it. Like, there are people on the internet saying that we're shills and that we've been paid by Tommy to say good things about the Amico. It's like,
It's so
for
funny.
every good thing we said an equally critical thing, and still went. So we're still not sure, and yet that somehow equated to us being in Tommy's purse. Very strange the way the internet reacts to things. You know, people really grasp onto something just because you have an opinion or you do something. That immediately means you've sold your soul or you've done something else, or you know, this. No one ever thinks about things rationally. And I know this is the internet, and I should have known that beforehand. But yeah, that was the first time I'd ever thought, crap. I think it was you, Dawbs, at work. You're like, have you seen this? Someone started a Reddit thread about us.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, so what do you think of this? And then you'll comment, okay, but what about this? And it's like the same thing but worded differently. It's like, mate, I've just answered your question, and then they say, well, you haven't answered my question. It's like, I've answered it 5 bloody times. 5 different times in 5 different ways I've answered your question. And then
one thing I will,
so, yeah, whatever.
one thing I will say about it is that there are a few people saying like it's a scam, and I think I would only, if it's a scam, I would think that's the plan from day one, isn't it? If it's a scam, it's something where your long-term goal all along was to have a fake product and take people's money and do a runner. I don't think at any point this has actually ever been intended as a scam. I think they had 100% intention of bringing out a console that people would enjoy, and I think it's just they've gotten over their heads, and I think the cost has gone up, like sourcing prices. Like they've been quite ambitious with what they want it to do, but actually they're, as a console, it's not very high spec, is it? It's quite a low spec console. They're trying to get it to all these different features and stuff.
Well,
and I think
it'd be even worse spec now. If you think, because 2018 was it 2018 it was launched, or
I think it's just got out of hand. I think it's just they had a good idea with it, they ran with it, and it got out of hand. And I think now it's kind of. I thought they were going to. The announcement on Monday was going to be that they were closing up shop, and that was it. And then they announced actually they've made some changes, and some people have had to be let go, but they're still going. So, you know, if they do eventually release it, you know, well done them, and hopefully the people that've been waiting for this will get it. But I think the biggest red flag to me was when they brought out the games. You could buy the games, couldn't you, around Christmas time? Was it last year?
Yeah.
You could buy the games in the boxes, but the console wasn't out yet. And I was like, that's a bit odd.
Yeah, just I
think that's weird, isn't it? So that does kind of indicate that they're needing to get more money in to finish making it. It's like, well, why have you sold people games for a console that might never come out?
Yeah, I mean, I did say sort of as a joke that it had a 0% chance of coming out in November last year. I think I said that in May, and yeah, sadly I was proved right. So before we move on,
no one likes a smug.
I wasn't being smug.
You retracted that though. You can't keep flip flopping. You did an apology video on that, so you can't keep flip flopping.
Don't recall that.
Which Rob Essex Retro sat through. I think it was the stream he was on.
No, I think that was my twin brother Den. Yeah, that was my twin brother Den. So before we move on, do you want to just go around the table and give your percentage chance of what you think is going to? So Nintendo, right. What do you think? Percentage?
Okay, so I think this isn't a yes/no type question. I'm afraid. Very few things in life are. What I think is, I think something will come out. I don't think it's going to be what they're pertaining it to be, but I do think something Intellivision will come out, whether that's a plug and play system. Or just something. Will the Amico come out as it is? I just can't see it happening now. I really can't. We're at that position now where you can buy a PS5. You know, you can't walk into a shop and buy one, but you can go out and order a PS5, and it will probably be with you in a couple of weeks. So this capacitor.
Where are you getting your PS5s from?
Yeah,
PS5s. I've got one. But
nobody can get hold of one.
I get hold of it for love nor money.
Dude, people are ordering them online, aren't they now? And they're turning up in like a couple of weeks, a month.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're starting to trickle. They're trickling through. I think is the idea, because people are posting, they're getting them now.
So, what's your percentage then, Ollie?
So I think the actual Amico system, as it is being sold to us and has been sold to us, I don't think is coming out, but I do think something will come out.
0. Okay. Ryan.
I think the system that you saw in that unboxing video with the online store, that has got 0% chance of coming out.
Zero.
I think that they'll try and get a system like a mini console with, I don't know, 10 games built into it, no online store, couple of controllers, whether they even be wireless or not, I don't know. But they'll bring out something with the Amico Intellivision name on it, but it won't be the thing that we have been seeing the last 3 or 4 years. So 0% chance of
Zero. Wow.
Totally
Okay.
agree. I
Blunners?
think that's
I'm with Crazy Bird here. I reckon it's
10%. Okay.
so
as
you're
much as I would-
telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance. Yeah, I mean, I might even go lower than that and say 5%. I
Five.
think people that have followed this a lot more closely than us have, said things about how it's never coming out. So, from what I've seen of it, I would give it maybe 5%, between 5 and 10.
I personally think 0. I'm going to stick to my original prediction. I can't see it coming out, sadly. I don't think it was a con, in all honesty.
No.
No, I don't think so.
I just think they sort of got a bit in over the head. So I'm going to say 0.
I don't think the market was as big as they thought it was, because I think
No.
they're expecting it to appeal to a lot more people. And I think it looks interesting. If it was a lot cheaper, I would consider getting one, but it's not on top of my list. And there's so many other things you can get. There's a few sort of comments in the chat, which we'll hopefully come back to, about sort of Steam Deck and things like that. But yeah, they're not really comparable systems. They're going for a completely different thing. But if you've got £250 available, do you put that towards a PS5, or do you get a Switch, or do you go for an Amico? And I just think it's one of these things where not many people would get that system over any other. So it's going to be the people who've already got everything else. If I had every other console and I had an extra 250 quid, sure, I'd probably get one. But I just don't think it's got the appeal over other things in the market.
Counter to yours is that they were trying to say getting 2 controllers, getting all these games.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you actually look at the components,
They
how
have promoted
expensive.
it.
Yeah, if you look at the controller, I think I keep seeing stuff being advertised to me from like Argos and stuff. And what one controller is like, this is, I don't know if I got this wrong, I think it was like 65, 70 pounds for one
more
controller.
than a PS5 controller.
And there's 2 of them. So you get 2 £65 controllers. So that's like 120 quid of the 250 already, isn't it? And then you get some games with it as well.
You can use your phone though, if you remember.
Yeah.
But then who wants to? We could be on a topic about this.
What about if you get a phone call and you're playing and get a phone call?
Who even thinks that as a problem?
Oh, these things happen.
So actually, that is a good point, because you wouldn't be able to put it in airplane mode, would you?
No.
Because it would need to connect to the Wi-Fi, I assume, or something to. So yeah. Anyway, that's a.
So what we got? 0, 0, 10, 5, 0, and I'm going to add in Crazy Burgers 10%.
Yeah.
So what's that? Between the 6 of us,
and CEX Retro's 0% as well.
Oh no, I can't work that out. Well, basically about 3% then. So
you mean there's a chance? There's a chance.
I'm going to Google what has a 3% chance of happening.
3.5, maybe 3.6% chance of coming out.
Yeah.
So that's
there were a few cool things he said he was going to do, like the score comparisons, and if you've got a high score, you get a certificate and stuff, and you could take your games with you on your controller and put it in your mate's Amico and play your games and all that sort of stuff. So they had some good ideas.
It did have a lot of cool ideas. I'm part of the Intellivision fan page on Facebook, because I like to keep up with all the news and what's going on. And someone in there put on there, hear me out, I've got an idea. Why doesn't someone like Blaze get involved, who've got a track record of production, getting things to market, all this kind of stuff? And whilst that's a nice idea, I did comment on it and sort of said, yeah, but the one thing that Blaze did with the Evercade, which Intellivision maybe could have taken a bit of a leaf out of, is they made one console to start with that was cheap to manufacture, it was very cheap to buy, and it filled a little void in gaming and people collecting things. I know you're shaking your head, Dawbs, but the system is affordable. People will buy it. I know we say the word punt a lot, but people will take a
Keep your
punt on something
receipts.
like that. They'll get it for someone for Christmas. You know, it's the sort of thing that a dad or family or nan might buy someone just thinking, oh, they like gaming, and that's a games machine. And then they did the VS. Now they're doing the next thing, and I know we're going to get onto that as a topic. But that as a model, start small. Don't just start running. Start, unless you're Sony or somewhere where you can just sprint out the gate. You need to kind of start small. And I kind of feel like if the Amico was just something that was a totally stripped back version of what it was, to just get people chatting about Intellivision again, and then built up to something like what the Amico is now, then it might have had a chance, and it might even be out now. It's just a real shame, because I do, you know, from the interactions that we have had with Tommy, I do like the guy. You know, he is a nice guy. I know he gets a lot of hate for various reasons, but he was always very pleasant to us. He was always, you know, very generous to us with his time as well. Even though we were never totally sold on the system, he still, for some reason, enjoyed talking to us, which you know, I'm always going to be, you know, quite grateful of.
Yeah, 100%.
I've just looked at things like 3% chance of happening. Killed by a firework. I think that's about 3% chance of happening in your lifetime. So
yes, yeah, interesting.
Okay.
yeah, there's a few more depressing ones than that.
Okay, no, we'll stick with that one.
Try and find a couple more. Try and find a couple more funny ones throughout the stream. We'll come up with some other things that have got a 3% chance.
Give you an update.
So should we move on to? I've already talked about this on Everchat, so I've given my thoughts. So really, it's to you guys.
Well, we covered it a bit in ModCons as well.
We did.
Oh, so it's just me then.
It's just Dawbs. We've all kind of given our thoughts on it.
We'll hand it over to Dawbs, and then we can have a chat about it as a collective.
Right, okay. Have we all got Evercade now, apart from Dawbs? Have you now got one, Ollie?
No,
you've not got one yet. Have you now got one, Ollie? You've got one.
Yep,
You've got one. So it's only Blunners and Dawbs are the only ones that don't have them.
Correct. Yeah.
I might get
so, should we start off? What do you want to start off with?
You, Dawbs.
Positives, positives, negatives.
Oh, it's your. You've got to give your. Yeah, you go.
All right, positives. Yeah, it looks quite nice. Screen is much better. I think they've improved the output for the HDMI. Tape mode, or tarty mode, if someone keeps on calling it. I mean, yeah, swishing it around. I can't be bothered with that, but yeah, apparently that's really good. I'm not really fussed about it. So yeah, I'm impressed. It looks quite good. Yeah, much better screen. That's good. USB-C, great. You know, who uses USB micros nowadays? No one. So yeah, good connector. Negatives, I think it's far too early to get one out. Ridiculously early. I don't know why they're going to stop making the original Evercade. That just seems a bit bizarre to me. I think it's cheeky that they sold the purple Evercade, and then 6 months later announced this. I think that's a bit cheeky. Yeah, I just think it's quite expensive as well. The black one, what's that, 180? Correct me if I'm wrong, 180 quid?
Yep.
I just think that's far too overpriced. That is just a ridiculous price. It's crazy. Who's going to pay 180 quid? So yeah, is it going to make me
sold out?
Well,
5,000.
Well, yeah, but they said last time the VS and the purple one are sold out, and then months later, oh, here's some under the cupboard. Here we go.
And don't forget the original black handheld when that came out.
Yeah,
there more of those appeared during the launch.
Yeah, I'll put another positive. It's got Wi-Fi. So stuff that's been standard for 10 years, like Wi-Fi, IPS screen, really good that they got that eventually. Obviously, I'm having a little joke there. So yeah, I think, am I going to get one? Nah, no chance. I'm not going to get one. I'm not going to waste my money. I had problems with my Evercade. I contacted them. They've blocked me, so they're not going to get any more of my money. But I hope it's a success. I really do. I hope it makes them lots of money.
Well, it's made them 900 grand with those pre-orders because I've just done the maths.
Yeah. No, sorry. It's made Funstock 900,000, not Blaze, because they're completely separate, right?
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah, we've blocked you. Is that Andrew Joseph? I don't know who he is, but yeah,
I
I'm
think
blocked.
we need to speak to Andrew Joseph and get you unblocked, Dawbs, because I don't
Is
know.
he with Evercade? I don't know.
He is, yeah,
Oh, is
he
he?
is.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
tester for Evercade. I
Oh,
think
is
I'm
he?
right, Andrew. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're one of the development team. Please
Hang on.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. Okay, fair enough. No, but he yeah, they blocked me. I'm blocked on Twitter. I'm blocked on Facebook. So
What did you do though? Were you being a wind up?
No,
Or-
no,
He's being a
No,
winder.
it
no.
was
Bro.
it was in
How
the
dare you? How dare you make that allegation?
in
I don't know what you're
Dawbs's
trying to insinuate there.
in Dawbs's defence. It was during the early days of Blaze, and they have since changed the
They
way in
have,
which
yeah,
they
but
interact with you.
they still blocked me for having an issue. You know, I was quite negative about it, but as soon as they blocked me, I become a bit more negative. Maybe only a little bit more. But no, you know, I do hope it is a success. You know, massive success for them. 5,000 made 900 grand. Looks to me like a bit of a crowdfunder. Dare I say it? But yeah, I hope it's hope it's a success for them. So, and I hope people enjoy their Evercades.
Do you like
EXPs.
the design?
You what? Sorry.
Do you like the look of it?
I do. I think it looks really good. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure
That's-
about the start and select buttons being like that. I would have them horizontal still.
the game designer Dawbs, the console maker.
Yeah,
to
I wouldn't have
give-
had them that way, but
to give the system its absolute due, the one thing that everyone has said over the course of the entirety of the Evercade's lifespan is it needs a better screen, it needs to be more durable, it needs to, you know, if they want to have this higher end product, make it look more higher end. And literally everyone that owns an Evercade, before even I sort of joined the Evercade party, that is literally what everyone was saying in the Evercade fan base.
yeah, they were. Yeah,
yeah.
And this is
agree.
the good thing about Blaze now is they do listen, I think, to the community at wide now and really take notice of what they're saying. And they've
yeah. But I
made it.
personally would. I can see why it's come out. I think it's a little bit early, but I think they shouldn't discontinue the original.
No,
because
they're not
they're
going to.
still-
And Andrew's put in the comments here. He's put here.
Oh, yeah, continue to support it.
That's support though, isn't it? They're going to stop manufacturing, and then there's going to be one like massive update if there's an issue with it, and then they're only going to do updates if there's massive bugs.
Yeah,
I think they will still do small updates for the original handheld.
Well,
But I
good.
would love to know how many people who originally brought an Evercade don't, go on YouTube or anything and have never updated their handheld.
Oh, there'll be loads.
I'd love to know what the number of
Yeah.
that, though. The number of
Oh, there you go.
people there.
Production has stopped. I don't,
Yeah.
But the
I
support
don't
will
think
continue.
they should stop it. I think they should still bring them out because there's still going to be people that want them.
Yeah,
Dawbs, you had fun at Christmas when we played the VS. Couldn't get you off the Intellivision
That's
cart.
the VS. We were on about the handheld.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, you're not a fan of Evercade,
Semantics.
but you did enjoy playing that. You played that spy game. You completed it.
Spy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, out of all of us, I think you played the Evercade more than
Nice.
anyone else.
Yeah, it was a good laugh, but I wouldn't play it on my own. I only played it because you guys were there, and it was a good laugh. But I would never play it on my own. I just can't. I can't see me playing that on my own. And Sly Spy was funny. Don't get me wrong. And even Astro Smash, I was enjoying playing that.
You played that for about half an hour by
I did,
yourself,
but-
where we had to sit and watch you.
Yeah,
I come on and
I
I was like, "Oh, give us a go," and I absolutely ruined your score immediately.
you did. I got so
Yeah.
high, and then you took over and just absolutely ruined
Tanked it,
Wasn't happy.
totally tanked it.
But
I
no,
think I would like to one day get an EXP, but I think I don't play my Evercade handheld enough to warrant buying another one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I play the EVS more. I really like the monthly game feature. So going on and playing like the monthly game, and I prefer playing it on the sat down with the controller on the TV than on the handheld, I think. So I don't know if I will.
I've been playing my handheld quite a lot recently.
Oh.
I was away last week with work, and I took my handheld with me. And usually I take it with me and it'll just sit in my bag and I won't play it. But I actually played it. I played that rally game quite a lot, which is actually easier to play on the handheld than what it is on the VS. I don't know why that is, whether it's just easier on a smaller screen. But I actually managed to get through the easy and medium levels, whereas on the VS I can't even do the first track.
Yeah, it's too hard.
On the easy one. So I don't know why it was easier on the handheld. But I will be getting a EXP. Hopefully, Father Christmas will bring me one this year. Hopefully, it'll be out before Christmas. Fingers crossed.
It's winter, isn't it? Winter. Which is starts on
22, winter 22.
It starts on 21st of December, so are people going to get in time for Christmas?
Dawbs, come on.
Winter does start on the 21st of December.
I genuinely would like to get my hands on one and see what it's like. Like for me, because the only thing, I mean, I must admit this I went away with the family to Wales recently, and normally I'll take my Switch or something, and I thought this time, oh no, I'm going to take the Evercade because there's a handful of games that I'm playing on it at the moment. And I had a really great time with it. I think even my kids had a go, and they, Seren really enjoyed playing it. And I think Travis just sort of chuckled at me. But I would like to get my hands on an EXP and really, really see what it's about. I really would. So we'll have to see. But I think I don't know. I think handheld gaming and mobile gaming and all this kind of stuff is really huge at the moment. Well, it's been huge for ages, hasn't it? You've always had the 3DS and all these other the DS. It's mainly Nintendo handhelds really that have sort of kept alive in the market. But certainly to be able to play licensed retro games on the go and have it be cartridges and stuff, like I still think it's cool. I know I had my initial doubts when the Evercade initially came out, as I think I didn't buy one at launch because there were some issues with the cartridges being too tight. The screen had screen blur around the outside. The light was bleeding through. There was just some early teething problems, which they rectified. And then when they did, and then they announced that Xenocrisis cartridge, it was like, cool, there we go. I can buy an Evercade, get Xenocrisis, pay for that, and that's officially cheaper than buying Xenocrisis separately for the Vita or the PS4. So that sold me immediately. And then the cartridges that have come out since then have just been really good. Like they've got a good selection of games. There's always at least 2 or 3 games on those cartridges that I'm excited for, and there's always a bunch I've never heard of. So I don't know. I think there's a place in the market for this EXP, and it's going to be interesting.
Let's hope it's built as good as the RG351.
I think
quality on that is amazing. Yeah.
It is, and I think it will be.
But who knows? We'll wait for Ryan to get it for Christmas, and then
we'll have to go.
And then you can come round. You can come round, and we can sit and watch you play it at Christmas.
Yeah, well, I had problems with my first one because I put a cartridge in and couldn't get it bloody out.
Yeah, but
It's jammed in there. So let's hope they get that sorted as well.
Sorry, just before we disappear on the topic, that tape mode is a cool idea. It's a really good idea. There's they do all the mini consoles. They do mini arcade machines as well, don't they? And I think we said it on ModCons the other day. I can't remember what make it is, the retro arcade machine that does the tape mode where you push the screen in, turn it round, push it back in, and you can play the shooters vertically.
Oh yeah, I found that the other day. Yeah.
It's very cool, and I think people that like shooter games, shoot 'em ups. I'm not going to call them shmups ever again. I think it's a really good idea, and especially if you've got that slightly wider screen, that slightly more widescreen screen that the Evercade has, turning that vertically and having that vertical shooter screen be quite long. It's cool. It's very cool. And it also gives you an idea that there's going to be some good shooters coming, because you wouldn't make that a feature for just 2 or 3 games. Personally, I think there's going to be
Tetris,
some excellent shooters coming.
There's
already some great shooters out there.
That would be good.
That machine's called the Taito Arcade Selection, the Egret 2 Mini.
That's it.
Looks pretty cool. But it's the only thing that puts me off of that actually is only one player, isn't it? You've got like the control stick and the buttons. Like, if you're playing on an arcade cabinet, I'd want to have 2 player. It's just odd that it's only
they're
one.
very small. When you see the size of them, Tim, they are.
Oh really? They're like tiny,
like this big. They are tiny.
Yeah, they're not like a proper arcade system.
Okay, it's more like
in closing, not for me at the minute, but I do genuinely hope it is going to be a good success for him, and I think the Evercade community, like the fans hub, really love those guys. I think they're doing a cracking job, so keep up the great work.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to end it.
Is that what you want me to say, Ryan? Is that? No, I'm joking.
It is a great community. Roger,
is, yeah,
Pete,
absolutely.
Liam, John Crazy Burger.
And
I could go on.
Andrew Joseph, have a word with Evercade or Blaze and get him to send some stuff to Roger and those guys, because they do give you a lot of support. And I think,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
you know, get just, I don't know, even just a couple of carts now and again, because yeah, they do give you a lot of support. So fair play to them.
Yeah, here. Okay, so we're going to move on from Evercade to a topic of buying subs, which you wanted to talk about, Dawbs.
Yeah, I mean, what's your favourite sub? I quite like the BMT from Seco. What sort of sauces do you have?
One.
Meatball marinara, yeah.
Meatball sub, yeah, gotta love a meatball sub.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
right, thanks. Next topic.
Big fan of steak and cheese. Steak and cheese is quite a good sub as well.
Steak and cheese, yeah, very good. Yeah. No, obviously I'm joking. I'm on about YouTube subs because we've been accusations have been made that we've been buying YouTube subs, which is crazy when you look at A, how many subs we've got, and B, you go on Social Blade, you can see how many subs are going on a daily basis, which is like lucky if we get one a day. So yeah, I just want people's thoughts on buying subs, because there's a story I want to tell maybe a bit later on. But yeah, what's everyone think about buying subs? Buying YouTube subs, is it good, bad?
It's
I mean, I don't think
what would be the point of it? Why would you buy subs? You're just lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Should we do a little round robin? Because I think we're all
on.
going to have an opinion on this. So Ryan, yeah, you
Let's go around.
You have a say, mate.
But that's really my opinion on it. I don't see why anyone would buy subs when it's so obvious when you've done it, because your sub numbers will jump massively. I've seen a YouTuber, I won't name them specifically, who allegedly brought subs, and he had a video of a game that no one's going to be searching for on YouTube, and it had like 20,000 views, and their sub count had gone from 4-digit number to a 5-digit number within 2 weeks. You're lying to yourself. People aren't watching that video. So in my opinion, yeah, it's pointless. Why would you do it? Waste of money, and YouTube will eventually find you and close your channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mr. Blunners, do you have an opinion on this?
It's absolutely pointless. Like a massive YouTube channel, and he's obviously was accused of it as well. But yeah, it is. You're getting no views. So what's the point?
It's a strange one. I'll let Tim go before I dive.
To be honest, I don't really have opinion, but I don't really have much to say about it. It's not something I really get overly excited about. I don't see what the motivation would be for buying subs, but I think I've also seen quite a lot of upset for people that have. Dawbs has got a few things to say on it, so I won't steal his thunder there. But I can't really get that excited about it. If someone's bought subs, okay. I just feel like there's a lot worse things a human being can do. Do you know what I mean? I think there's other things that are far worse than buying subs in the world. That if someone buys subs, it doesn't bother me. I just don't really get it. But there's things around that I just aren't things that I'm overly fussed about that other people are. And I can understand some people that would be something they get quite upset about and quite angry about. But it's not something that I've got excited about either way, to be honest. It's just
I must admit, I've personally never understood the reason behind why somebody would do it, because you could buy, I don't know, 2,000 subs to organically grow your channel over the course of 6 months, but your view count doesn't go up. So what's the point? Like, it doesn't actually add any real gravity or weight to your online presence. It's a really strange format to do. It'd be like buying Instagram followers. Like, unless people are actually liking and interacting with what it is you're putting out, there's no reason to artificially inflate your follow base, really, because it doesn't serve a purpose. I think the only reason that it's a topic that we're, I don't know, I guess maybe wanting to talk about is because we've heard through the grapevine that people have accused us of doing it, and I completely agree with Dawbs. Like, fuck me, if we were buying subs, mate, I'd have.
We're uncensored, Olly, it's fine. You
Oh,
can swear.
uncensored. We're fine. Okay, well, fuck
And we're
me.
not kid friendly.
If we were buying subs, mate, Jesus, we would not have 800. We'd be fucking nearer the.
There's 5 of us as well, isn't there? So we can
Exactly,
split
the wealth of us
we can
throwing
split
it,
the
isn't it? We'd
cost
be,
between us. Just
we'd
come
be
in.
up there with
Loads.
what's his name now? Metal Jesus.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah.
be mixing with
Why
those
not?
guys.
The only thing I was going to say, actually, you were talking about, like, you know, why you would need to. I suppose the only thing is, if you've got a large sub count, do you appeal more to, I don't know, I guess like advertisers or getting freebies and things like that? Oh, give me some free merchandise because I've got, you know, 80,000 subs or whatever. I don't know.
No,
I don't know whether
don't
that's
think
sort of
so,
dishonest
because-
towards those sorts of people, because you might only have, like, say, 250 genuine subs and like thousands and thousands of fake ones. Could you then convince a outlet to give you free merchandise to plug it when actually you don't really have that many subs?
I don't think so, because I think you have to. It's like with anything. When I was doing Games HUD, you know, people asked for our unique hits a month, our unique hits a day, our average hits, and then our, you know, just your general hits, so people that return to the site. So there's lots of different things that I think, you know, certainly advertisers will want from you before they go, yes, we're going to give you a product that's worth, you know, a couple of £100, or we're going to give you a sponsorship that's worth £10,000. There's lots of things they need to tick those boxes before they'll hand that over to you. And unless you can deliver on all aspects of it, I don't think people are really interested. Don't know. It's a weird one. I don't understand it myself, but it's definitely an interesting thing. I'm surprised that there are companies that still advertise doing it, considering it can get your channel totally shut down.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But with Tim, it doesn't upset me.
No, not at all. It's
you know, if people
totally...
want to do that, then it's fine.
Yeah, I think they get caught out.
I think very few things in the sort of YouTube world really do bother me. If I'm totally honest, it's just one of those things. If people want to do it, hey, you knock yourselves out.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. So there's a YouTube channel. I won't. Do you know when you have a film and it says inspired by real events and they've changed people's names? So I'm going to do that. So
I'm going to strap in for this one.
I'm ready on the mute button just in case you.
beep beep. So yeah, there was a YouTube channel. I won't say who it was, but let's just call him Chad. We call him Chad. So he had a YouTube channel. I think about 5,000 subs, maybe. He's banging out regular content. Views wasn't that high, and then suddenly, overnight, poof, he's just completely disappeared, gone off the face of the earth. And there were allegations made by certain other channels that he was buying subs. So you went on Social Blade, you looked at Chad's YouTube stats, and it said, like, you know, this day he got 100 subs, the next day it's like 500 subs, blah blah blah. So yeah, he got 1,000 subs in like 4 days, even though he put out no content, which to me is massively suspicious. So Chad, yeah, disappeared, gone missing, and then Chad come up with a reason. Again, I'm going to change the reason. So he said he went off because quit YouTube because his wife was given birth, right? So his wife had given birth, so he had to quit YouTube. So even though his wife was given birth on the Thursday, you know, in hospital over that period of time, he went on another stream on a Saturday. So yeah, his wife's given birth. He's gone on a stream straight away. I think that's a bit shady behaviour. So on the day that he allegedly quit YouTube because his wife was given birth, the very next day he set up another channel. He set up another channel the very next day, and he's putting out videos. He's trying to hide who he is, but unfortunately, he put a video out. Again, I'm going to change it. Let's just say he walked past a shop, and his reflection was in the window, so you can clearly see it was him. So basically, I think Chad is just a liar. I think what he's done is pretty bad. If he would have come out and said, yeah, I got caught buying subs, I apologise, whatever, be like, fair enough, but he's completely denied it. So yeah, basically Chad, you know, there's no justice with Chad. Chad can get lost as far as I'm concerned. All right?
Justice for Chad. So, that is a new hashtag.
Chad can get lost.
Justice for Chad.
Okay?
No
Chad can get lost.
Chad.
Oh, and Also, Chad got some freebies because he had quite a high sub count. I won't say. Actually, I'll change it. He got some freebies from Durex. So Durex sent him some freebies, cost him hundreds of pounds, even though he was caught buying subs. So obviously the subs were bought after that. But yeah, so it just goes to show that buying subs does get you some freebies.
Yeah, that's what I was
whether they're
saying.
Durex or 10 lady, whatever. You do get freebies if you get high subs. Right.
But if it's through the artificial inflation.
Okay. So yeah, Chad can get lost. There we go. Chad can get lost. Where justice for Chad? No, I'm not. I won't name and shame, but yeah, I think Chad is very, very shady, and yeah, he can get lost. Chad can get lost.
I think that every time someone subscribes to YouTube now, or not subscribe, sets up a channel, they should have to watch that like a public information video about Chad.
Why you should not
Like the
buy
piracy
subs.
You should.
Don't be like Chad. Don't buy subs.
Yeah.
Chad now works in the chip shop.
Yeah. You wouldn't. What is it? You won't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a hand. If I could download it, mate, I bloody would.
You wouldn't buy subs.
So yeah, Chad can get lost, and Chad, Crazy Burger just put up. Is Chad still active? Yes, he is. He's very, very active, which I'm not. Well, each their own. Each their own. So I agree with you on Chad there. Thank you, Ziggy. So yeah, Chad can get lost. New hashtag, Chad can get lost.
I like Andrew's one here as well. Hashtag what was Chad stories.
Maybe we should do a weekly basis. Yeah.
Here we are. So
maybe you can give
now
I've created a character called Chad.
Yeah,
I like that name, Chad.
Excellent.
So yeah, Chad can get lost. I'm not happy with Chad.
I like this. Excellent. What were there some other uncensored topics in the bits? Oh yeah, questions from the chat. I think there's definitely been a few questions in the chat. I know people have started a few of them.
Do we want to save to go to the?
Oh yes, yeah, let's do that first.
We're going to give a wallet. I haven't even thought of this.
No, nor have I.
Oh my god, I don't know what I'm going to
I've
say.
got a few. I've been thinking about it for ages.
Well, you go first then, Tim.
Yeah,
How many are we allowed? We're only allowed like one. We do one each just to see.
Yeah, Dawbs, do you want to?
It's traditional to do three, but I think we should have one each.
We do one, otherwise we'll be here for an hour.
Yeah.
Dawbs, do you want to explain what Waller's Remasters is?
You should all really know, lads. But yeah, basically it's a retro game that you think deserves a remake or a remaster for a modern console, a bit like The Last of Us that's just coming out. So
again,
no, with the what a remaster is, do you like? Because there was talk before. I think there's some talk about when we're at OLL on one of the panels about remasters and what is. I would also consider remaster is like remaking a game. So it's not just like that one redone, but also like a new game based on that old one. Does that not count as well? Or is like
no, for me,
it's only going to be a remake of the original game, just with like better graphics and stuff, and maybe a bit more content.
I think a remake and a remaster are two very different things. So what they've done with Last of Us is a remake. They've completely remade it.
Yeah.
But a remaster is what they did for Last of Us on PS4. They literally just reskinned it and updated the graphics, and like they do with the Devil May Cry series, and they did the HD remasters of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. It's exactly the same game. It's just been upped a little bit to make it run better on a newer console. So yeah, I think the two things are very different.
There's quite a few that I'd like to see, but I think the one I'm going to pitch today will be Time Splitters, and actually have a Time Splitters trilogy. So all three Time Splitters in one game. Updated graphics, really nice. Sort of keep that cartoony style, and then on modern console, so you can easily play online. Because you could play Time Splitters online on the PS2. I did very briefly play a little bit of Time Splitters 2 on the PS2 way back in the day, but it didn't run particularly well. But to play that on modern systems, because it just had so much content on there, and you could add loads more. Like Time Splitters 2 especially was the one I played loads, and it had all these little challenges, and it had the map editor, map maker. You can make your own little level. There's so many cool things in there. To do that now, I think you could expand on that as well a bit. So yeah, that's my pitch. Be Time Splitters trilogy.
Excellent, good pick, mate. I'm going to jump the gun, and I'm going to go purely because it is one of my favorite platformers, and it's one of my top 3 Super Nintendo games, and in honor of Tommy Tallarico, I would like a 2D, 3D remake of
Cool.
Earthworm Jim. I think the original Earthworm Jim, whilst people talk about it a lot, it's also on the Evercade as well. Just a little plug there for them. It's not my favorite version, though. I prefer the Super Nintendo version over the Mega Drive. Whilst I think the game still looks cool and plays cool now, I would love to see it with some slightly updated graphics. So sort of going down the route of like they've done for like the Monster Boy sort of series, that kind of thing. And just sort of like maybe a little bit of updated music now that you've got all of the, like chiptune bands and synthwave bands and all that sort of music, the sort of stuff from Stranger Things, which is now really, really popular. I'd love to see somebody, maybe Tommy himself, come back and redo the soundtrack, but with like all the modern, Inception noises and all that kind of stuff. I think it'd be hilarious, and you could have a little bit more of a cartoon narrative in between each level as well, to kind of sort of run it like a bit more of an interactive story as well. Yeah, Earthworm Jim, man, what a cool game. It's a very 90s game, and
holds up well as well, doesn't it? It's still good to play now. Holds up very well.
Fantastic. One of my favorite platformers. So there we go. My official Wallace Remasters pick is a remake of Earthworm Jim in the 2D format.
Oh, good shout on a Toe Jam and Earl as well. I love Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh yes, in the chat. There's some great ones coming up in the chat tonight.
Yep. I'll go next because I'll be quick because of my microphone's so shit tonight. So yeah, mine would be Jet Set Radio on the Dreamcast. I fucking love that game. From like graffiti and getting chased by the cops, doing all the grinding, doing all the tricks. I absolutely loved it. I think it's much more than that little thing the other day, and I wrote it in there. So yeah, Jet Set Radio. I'd love to see that come back.
Excellent. That's a really good choice. Yeah, Jet Set Radio still holds up today. It's a great fun game to play. Excellent.
Very
Who's
cool.
going to go next out?
I haven't really had time to think. So the only game I could think of very quickly, I would like FIFA Road to World Cup 98 remastered with the exact teams, squads, everything from that era. I think that would be pretty cool. So the gameplay brought up to date, the graphics all brought up to date, but keeping the essence of France 98, that World Cup, the logos, the you could throw in some video packages nowadays from that World Cup. So that's what I would go with.
Would you still have Blur Song 2 on there?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, and the World Cup edition had Chumbawamba, didn't it? The World Cup 98. So you could have both of them on there.
Yeah, you could.
Chumbawamba.
It was always worth like half time just leaving the song playing just to
Yeah, so good, wasn't it? So good.
I mean, that's a band I've not thought of for a while. Chumbawamba.
Didn't one of Chumbawamba punch John Prescott or something?
I'm sure he threw. Did he throw water over and then Prescott punched him back?
That's it.
Yeah. It was because it was on Top of the Pops. Like
no, it was at the Brit Awards, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they mentioned it. I think was it 98 Top of the Pops? I think. Or 97, they mentioned that incident, and I'm sure he threw water over and then Prescott punched him. So fair enough.
He was a boxer, wasn't he, John Prescott?
It's an interesting idea to get a game that actually has an annual release and update, but then updating one of the older ones to be modern. I like that. That's good. I think you could do that with some wrestling games as well, like SmackDown 2.
Yeah,
like
that.
A modern remake of SmackDown 2 would be pretty cool because you'd have that roster that you had at the time.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's just nostalgia, isn't it? And people want nostalgia, and I always think they've missed a trick not having a football game with.
Sorry, I'm just reading the story.
with old squads. There's never been a 1970s football game, and people have got a lot of nostalgia for that, or the 80s, or even now the 90s. The 90s was such a great era.
Yeah,
90s was cool, man.
Dawbs.
Do you want me to Dawbs? Do you want to pick your thing and then I'll read out what the BBC officially said, or would you like to?
Well, I've gone slightly different. So I was going to base it on. I was going to say a remaster of Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, but I've actually thought of something different. So you probably have to watch last week's stream to get this, but this is going to star Pamela Anderson. It's going to be VR, So
Is this an actual game, or are you just making
this
your
is
own
one I've just
game?
made up. One I've made up.
So it's not a remaster then.
It's not a remaster. It's a.
It's a remaster of a game from Dawbs' mind.
Yeah, from my
VR with Pamela Anderson. Should we stop you there because that's it?
VR. Yeah, VR Pamela Anderson, 90s model. Erica Laniak, Melinda Messenger, Joe Guest, and Anna Nicole Smith. And you play Dominic Diamond, and basically it's going to sort of copy the same theme as Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. And instead of calling it the Games Master, I'm going to call it the Girth Master. So that would be my pick.
I think Goldtooth will
You
might be say about that.
Yeah.
Goldtooth can do a little cameo. But no,
could he be a secret unlockable character once you've completed it with Dominic Diamond? Could you then complete it?
Yeah, you can download a skin like on the Uncharted game, so you can get some skins. But no, I would like to see a remaster. I know they've done it before and it was horrendous, but I quite like Spy Hunter. I'd like to see that remastered because the Commodore 64 version is amazing. So yeah, Commodore 64 Spy Hunter. It probably would be good in VR. And you can have different viewing modes, so you can have the car behind with the guns and then go through the shed. Go through the doorway thing, and you can turn into a boat. So yeah, Spy Hunter would be my choice.
Excellent.
I think anything in VR I'd like to see remastered. If anyone's we're going to redo it, but in VR, I'm like, yeah, sign me up. I'll replay that in VR.
Crazy Bird wants to know what you do in this Dominic Diamond game, and Cabbage Face Brooks has said Dragon's Den with that idea, please. And we've even got a name for the game as well.
Diamonds Gash.
Gash
Diamonds
Dash.
I like that. Diamonds Gash. Gash Dash.
And then you don't have to hit up Goldtooth, do you? Just to take his branding.
Maybe we star.
Chad
We put a star over the A in Gash, so it doesn't look Chad in VR. Yeah.
Shall I read you what the BBC's official wording was for this John Prescott?
Yeah, I think it'd be rude not to.
So the title was called Lord Prescott Gets Soaked. It says
Lord.
Deputy Prime Minister John Prescott was happily watching Fleetwood Mac. Go your own way.
Is anyone happily watching Fleetwood Mac? Jesus.
I don't think many people are. I mean, you can hear a Fleetwood Mac song and you kind of go, oh, that's quite good. And then you hear the next one, you're like, I've heard that one, haven't I already? Then you hear the next one and it sounds exactly, yeah, not for me. Anyway, so John Prescott was happily watching Fleetwood Mac play Go Your Own Way at the 1998 Brit Awards when is that his name? Dan Burt from anarchist pop band Chumbawamba leapt onto his table and emptied a bucket of iced water over him and his wife. That's amazing. I mean, that's got to be up there with Jarvis Cocker coming out and like bum waving everybody when Michael Jackson's singing "Heal the World."
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? That was weird.
Strange. I'm gonna have to look that up on YouTube afterwards and see this.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
I bet he wasn't.
He punched him. He did punch him.
Who was the other politician? The really big, I can't remember the name of him. He was very, very large, and he was walking into Parliament, and someone threw an egg at him.
That's Prescott.
Is that Prescott as well?
I think Prescott just.
Yeah, he loves chilling people. He loves fighting.
He just leant over, didn't he? Like, ooh, to try and punch that guy. Like, threw an egg at him.
That's Prescott as well.
Oh, that song. Oh, get it off the screen.
Oh man. Okay. Should we head to the comments, see if anyone's got any funky questions they want us to answer? Thinking about consoles, what do we think of consoles going all digital? PC has kind of done it. Xbox PR done it. We said we talked about on ModCon's Xbox's recent outage, and for me as a console gamer, until you buy something digitally and absolutely 100% own it and can play it when that system goes down, I do not think going completely digital is a good idea. Fine if you do a streaming service for your Xbox like Game Pass, which I still think is a good deal, and then the server goes down and you can't play those games, okay, that's just bad luck. If you've digitally paid £70 for a game and then Xbox Live goes down and you can't play that game even though you've bought it and paid money for it, I think that proves that you don't ever actually own anything when it's digital. I get that you buy a physical game and there's always a day one update. So, do you ever fully own a game anymore? But the point being, you can download that update, the server can go down, and you still have a complete game to play. As long as you don't ever erase your hard drive, you can still play that game until your console just kicks the bucket. So, as a physical media collector as well, I cannot go through with an all digital system. It's not for me, I'm afraid.
I've got a Xbox Series S, and the cost of it and everything is brilliant. I think I've got a PS5 disc version as well, but the Xbox Series S, was it £249 with a year's Game Pass or 2 years Game Pass or something? It can't be beaten on price. However, I went to play it a couple of days ago and the Xbox servers were down.
Yeah.
So I couldn't. I could play the games that I downloaded, but I wanted to download another game. But what is quite cool now that they do on Xbox Game Pass, you can cloud stream games, so you don't even need to download them anymore. You just click on it and it's there, and you're playing it.
It's cool. I think until they've absolutely steamrolled out like super high fast speed internet to everybody. Again, you can't. I don't think you could force people to go totally digital. Purely because, again, aside from the fact you've never fully owned the game, you can stream a movie in HD and you can stream a movie in 4K, but it still doesn't look good until you put that disc in. As soon as you put a disc in and do a comparison of like a streaming 4K and watching a physical 4K disc, it is different. It still runs better, it runs smoother, it looks cleaner, and it's sharp. And you've always got that problem with buffering and little things that make your connectivity drop. But again, I'm a physical media collector. I like to physically own the game, so of course I'm not going to be totally sold on digital. But yeah.
I think the difference to me is it digitally buying a game or buying a subscription service? Because I think if you're paying for a service, you get access to a library. That library can kind of get updated and changed. They can remove stuff. You've paid to access a library, and as soon as you stop paying that subscription, you lose access to the library. So you already know in that agreement you're not buying the game. I think the difference is if you're paying to download something, the transaction is that you bought the game. Like saying Elliot, you haven't really got anything, because that could eventually get away. You can have everything, would you? So yeah. I think if you're going digital, I think subscription service is the way forward. I quite like a subscription service myself. But again, with physical media, it's just about convenience and space. Like I would probably get a lot more games if I had the shelf space and room. I think one of the main reasons I tend to do subscription services or play emulators and things like that is because I just don't have the physical space. I don't have a separate games room.
Got them boxes behind you.
Yeah, they're all full of like the kid stuff. So I've got a lot of board games and stuff. I've got loads of board game shelf space, but yeah, just got a lot of my stuff I own is all up in the loft, and I play emulators of it.
We got any other cool comments? Any other questions? There was a couple, I think, near the start.
We've got one from Goldtooth.
What do you
guys think to the UK PAL region? 50 hertz squash screens and slow gameplay. Did we get wrongly done or more harsh bummed, or do you enjoy 50 hertz?
Do you know, as a kid, I didn't even know there was a difference. It wasn't until I got much older that I realised that there was that difference. But I guess you don't miss what you'd never had and knew in the first place.
Yeah. I don't really even know now what the difference is, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do. I thought one was for America, wasn't it, and one was for the UK, something like that.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, but I can't say I've ever, until I knew there was a difference, I would never have known any differently at all.
I can't say that I've ever felt harsh bummed. Well, yeah. So I guess that's no.
Normal, yeah.
Check out Goldtooth's latest video, because I learned what LPM meant the other day. I never knew.
So did I, yes.
Well, go watch the video. That'll give it to you. It's when he pulls out one of the games in particular. Yeah, you got to love
Hello Kitty game.
That's it. Gold2's channel. His videos always put a smile on my face. What a guy.
I don't know talk about that. I haven't actually seen that.
I think we've kind of already answered this. I have a question from Harry. Who out of the RGR guys would buy the Amico? Should we just have a quick yes, no, Ollie?
I might do. I'm in the fence. I potentially would buy one, but certainly not right now.
Okay, I'm a no. Blunners.
No.
Tim.
I still don't know. I'm going to say I'm on the fence. After all this time, I still can't figure out if I like it or not.
Is this on the pretext that it was coming out? If there was,
if it actually came out,
yeah, if it came out,
I think if it came out and then I was able to pick up a second-hand copy, or there's a Black Friday deal, or I was going to get it cheaper, I might consider it. But
Tim, you'll be lucky to get a version of it, let alone a second-hand version.
You never know. You never know. You know, I might get hit by a firework and die. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. If you ever see an Amico Intellivision in CEX, I will buy you all your drinks of an evening. When
I thought you were going to say you'll buy me an Amico, but no. Okay, I'll still take you up on that. Or if I ever see an Amico in CEX, I'll take a picture and be like, right, let's book in a night in the pub.
Okay, and Dawbs.
Sorry, what was the question? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. Would I buy the Amico? Not for £250. If it was 150, maybe. So not if it does come out. Let's just say it comes out next week, whatever. I won't pay 250 for it. Still too expensive for me. I was looking up the difference between 50 hertz and 60 hertz. So apologies for that.
Okay, and then do you guys think the Steam Deck is worth the money?
No.
No.
That's Dawbs' answer on that.
I think it's very overpriced.
Yeah, I agree. It's massively overpriced for what it is.
Although Alistair Lowe's got one, and he does love it. But for me, it's ridiculously expensive.
It is expensive. I kind of think it is worth some of the money. I like the idea that you could get a dock for it, and then essentially use it as a PC if you really want to. You can install Linux, you can install Microsoft Windows, whatever version you want to put on it, from what I can gather. So you can run it like a PC if you really want to. So I do like that aspect of the idea of it. So that's kind of cool. Portable gaming PC that can run up to high PS4 games at really good spec on the go. It's kind of cool. Again, I wouldn't buy one because I simply don't have the money to buy one.
Yeah, I think it depends what you want it for, and it does quite a few different things, like a few of the things that Ollie described, and some other. If you want it for that reason, then it's probably quite a good value for money. So it depends what you've already got. Do you have a gaming PC already, and you just want it as a handheld, and is it ticking multiple boxes for you? Then you're probably going to get more of your money's worth from it.
I've got one on order.
Oh, that answers that then, Blunners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all bundle round Blunners' cupboard and have a go when it comes.
Like you said, PS4. Just be able to plug into your TV, and off you go.
No, I'd be interested to come and see that, mate. You have to let us know when it arrives.
I get it to October though.
Okay, that's not a million miles away, mate.
That's not too far. Too far.
It'll come quite quickly.
Okay, we've got Rob's suggestion. Even though I just want to state he has never advised us on any guests in the past, but this is first. Can I ask, what are the chances of getting Chumbawamba on? Oh, that would.
Let's try and find out if Chumbawamba are gamers. If they're gamers, let's look again. Chumbawamba.
Well, I have been searching for them because I did see that question pop up. So I've had a look on the internet and I have found contact details for all them. So who knows?
Wow.
I may ping them a message after that.
Watch this space.
Yeah, I have found contact details for them, so I shall send them a message. It might get ignored, but who knows? Might get water thrown over us. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Right. I know we've been an hour and 15 minutes. It's a long time for people to sit watching us five. So is there anything else we want to cover before we say goodnight?
No. Is there anything else we want to cover?
Is there any other? Is that all the questions we want to go through? I know we heard you start.
I've got a 3% stat.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
right.
live,
Yeah, that's
if you live in America, it's 3% chance that you'll be audited by the IRS.
Oh, I mean, he's going to be a busy man, isn't he? We talked about him last week. Funny enough, he is going to be a very busy man.
There was a few people in the chat that said they missed the beginning. I think Reggie said he missed our intro. So did you want to perhaps end with the intro?
He did go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, he went back and watched it.
He rewound. He watched it twice. He
He
likes it so much. He watched it twice.
There you go.
Oh, yes. Mr. Waller has put CEX. What was that discussion going to be?
We did mention.
I think we
was
did.
CEX mentioned in the.
It was. We can have a couple of minutes on CEX.
And then Reggie does want us to do the intro as an outro, so we will do that for you, Reggie.
Yes, mate.
We love you. We think you're great, so we will do that.
Just for Reggie.
On CEX, breaking news this evening. I don't even think you four know. I am going for a complete PS2 collection.
Oh wow!
I will be filming it and putting it on our channel. I'll be popping down CEX this week to get my first PS2 game for the collection.
Not really a collector, are you? So
that'll make you a real gamer, Ryan.
Yeah, so I am going to be collecting.
Are you just going to go for normal ones or platinums, or?
No, I'll go for everything. The full shebang.
Wow.
PS2.
Well, if you need my Mr. Bean, mate, or my Alvin and the Chipmunks, just let me know.
Yeah.
All right.
I know what I'm getting Ryan for Christmas now. Cheap PS2 games.
Cheap PS2 games.
Yeah. But just think, mate. Then you can join the collecting world, which officially makes you a real gamer.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's.
Rob, what are you going to do? Are you going to do it in alpha order or just?
I haven't actually thought about it yet. I've only just decided about 20 minutes before this stream I was going to go for it. It's big breaking news. So yeah, I will be visiting. Actually, maybe tomorrow when we're at work, we go to that game shop. And I'll make my first purchase tomorrow. You can be with me when I make my first PS2 collection.
Doesn't it?
The journey begins.
Are you insane? Yes, he is.
Get on
No platinums.
He'll definitely be super insane when he starts getting to things like Rule of Rose and.
When you get like your 50p's, your £1.50s, your games, you'll be laughing. But then when you get, you'll find something which is like 250 quid or something. You're like, nah, I'm good.
But that's
you know what? Let's see how many PlayStation 2 games. But you will be able to play He Starts Beat.
You will?
You will, Britney Starts Beat, yeah.
You'll be able to play Pop Idol, mate.
I've got a PS2 console. Even though I don't collect, I have got a PS2 console.
PS2
I've got the console. It's ready to go.
Brilliant game.
It's purring, ready for a game to go into it from my monster. How many games am I collecting, Dawbs?
I'm trying to find it actually.
You might have to just say PAL games because in the
I'm not going Japanese or American. That's going to get insane.
You might make it more achievable if you pick something like I'm going to get all the PS2 games that start with the letter A.
All the rest of
like that, just go from there. Do it alphabetically.
All the rest of
just do A. It's like if you're collecting encyclopedias. I'm just going to do A through to like E or something.
Okay. No, that's consoles sold. How many PS2 games are there? Okay, there are currently 4,380 games.
Okay, excellent.
Right.
Well, the journey begins tomorrow.
Good luck to you.
And the best-selling game. Do you want to know the best-selling game?
Yes, mate.
It's got to be
Grand Theft
FIFA.
Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do we want to just touch on CEX quickly before I stole the thunder? I'll obviously be going there.
I thought we were talking about CEX. Getting a PS2 game. Yeah.
It's an interesting topic because I don't know why, but there's lots of things that seem. I mean, like I said, we're always still trying to find our feet in the gaming community. Still, I think we've been in it a couple of years. We've been on YouTube a year. We're still trying to find out. I think where we fit in with everything. But yeah, there's definitely like some people really like, and then there are some people that really hate people that do CEX type videos. And that in itself is bizarre. I mean, again, it's the internet, isn't it? It's just there's very few people that just kind of let things be. And there's lots of I don't like this. I really like this. Fuck you for liking it. Well, fuck you for not liking it. But as a business model, I mean, it's kind of ripe for videos, isn't it? Really, it's something that kind of follows the trends of the markets. It follows the trends of what's popular, and it's almost a price guide for some people. When people come to sell things through the various means, especially on Facebook Marketplace, I think people just go to CEX, see what they're selling it for, and then stick it on Marketplace for that value. So it's I don't know. I think lots of people use it, and they're totally upfront about it as well.
I think going into CEX is always a good experience, isn't it? Because when you're just browsing the shelves, you never know what you're going to find. And then, you'll often go in there and be like, "Oh, there's a game I don't have," and you look at it, it's actually a really reasonable price, and it's quite satisfying.
They all stink, though, don't they? They got quite a weird smell.
That's a sweeping.
They do when you go in there.
I can't say I've ever noticed an odor
Saying-
CEX.
Saying that,
charity
dude,
shop smell.
do you remember? Do you remember in Southampton?
I do. I know the shop,
Pink
Olly.
Planet, and it used to be just
Yeah.
between it and the Bargate. Yeah, one of my friends used to nickname that place the Armpit because it just stank of BO. And that eventually became Southampton's first CEX. So yeah, I do know what Dawbs means. It's that some of these CEXs do have a very particular odor.
Cabbage face bricks will remember. Was it Pink Planet, Purple Planet?
There was a couple in Eastleigh that were quite good. Like there were others. Like at one point, there's 3 like secondhand game shops in Eastleigh, and now it's only like CEX, I think. But yeah, I'd like to see more other, I guess you call it like mum and pop kind of secondhand game shops than just CEX.
Yeah,
you get to see more independent ones doing the same thing.
Yeah,
but I just don't think they last. I guess CEX has just got too much of the marketplace.
FIFA's.
I do see in CEX, like there was a game called Way of the Samurai that I really wanted on PS2, and we would go for between sort of like 17 and 25 quid on eBay, which is like way more than I'm sort of was willing to drop on it. And it was in CEX for 18. I thought, it's still a bit out of where I'm going, but it stayed in there for so long that it actually dropped in price on the website and dropped in price in store to I think about 15 quid. So it might be £15 now. So they do actually alter their pricing based on, I guess, what's selling in store. If they've got an abundance of a particular game in store and it's not shifting, the price will drop on it pretty quickly.
Do you know one thing I found as well is I don't think I've ever seen a game or console or anything in a charity shop. Yet loads of people I see on YouTube be like, "Oh, charity shop finds." Like, what charity shops are you going to? I never see anything in the charity shop.
I found some.
It must just be the part of the world we're in.
10p's for you, Dawbs, didn't I? I should have kept them for my PS2 collection now.
Should have done. Yeah, I can sell them back to you for £2. So what's that? 2,000% profit.
Yeah,
something like that.
Okay. Do we want to, before we go, announce mention anything else that we've got coming up, or anything that we've got in the pipeline, or anything?
Do you want to say what we got next? What are we doing next week? Is there anything next week?
No, nothing next week.
Nothing next week.
I don't know.
Oh, no, there is. There is.
There was something.
There is. Check your whatever that app is. But
what's that?
Don't mention it yet. No.
Okay. Well,
yeah, don't mention it yet.
I was going to say, if people enjoy just the 5 of us chatting, let us know in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll do this more often. I think this is only the second time we've ever done this, isn't it? In a year, so it's very cool, very chilled evening.
Yeah, it's very nice to chat.
It is.
Oh,
hang on, I just got a message from Chumbawamba. So okay. I'll tell you offline.
Now I'm intrigued.
Wow, on that bombshell.
Right, Radical Reggie has requested the intro as an outro this evening. So
and Chad can get lost before we go.
And keep an eye on our shorts tomorrow, because I will be revealing the first PS2 game that I purchased at lunchtime for my collection. So
Excellent.
watch this space. So until next time, see you all soon. Goodbye.
Ciao.
Evening.
Hi, this is Dave Perry, and you're watching Retro Gaming Revival live.